are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And some room to work. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Dobbins, touchdown, Baltimore. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 27, Burrow, throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
On one, right?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow. That's the tight end hurt. Now the ball comes loose. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
Report! Report! Hey, report! Report!
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. It's Dobbins on the out route, bringing it in. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Report! Report!
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 28. 85 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Hold it.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line.
That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And oh, it's blocked. Oh, the Bengals have got it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 30, 10, 5, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, you figure with a veteran kicker out there, these extra points almost automatic, but this one turns into 2 points the other way.
And we both know it's hard to put it on him. I think there's a breakdown in the protection, but guess what? It does go against his record.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly a disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Finding space at the 40. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. And that pick 6, Charles, that moves it up now to a 3-touchdown advantage. A great individual defensive effort there to continue what has been a very lopsided first half.
And I better buckle in my seatbelt, right? Because you know, as a former DB, when I see a pick 6, I'm up and jumping up and down watching it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be neutral, but those kind of plays, they excite me every time. They are in absolute control in this one. Nice play there.
Taken at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
Here's Higgins out of the right side. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away.
But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
11 empty.
Burrow on 3rd down. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A handoff running left is Dobbins. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Yeah, the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
I'm fine, ready?
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson steps away to his left.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
On 2.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow will throw.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit the defense. They made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And on 4th down, Ottage, the punt team sending this one away. On the return is Cohen. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To try again after the sack. Burrow. That is taken in by Hurst. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain there of 30 big ones.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal.
Gotta go.
Burrow now off the bootleg, steps away. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
To throw on 2nd down, Mixon. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him. And it'll be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And now look at him go. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone in and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Give up 6 points going the other way.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a run. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They'll run here with Dobbins. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he's on here to punt it away.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Gun. Stop. Stop.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up 2nd down. And they take a knee. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover.